Peta Seca was born in Angola in 1830 and is said to have been a very strong and tall man, standing at 6 feet 10 inches. As a young man, Peta Seca was sold to a landowner in Brazil, Joaquim José de Oliveira, and given the new name José Florencio. Unlike most enslaved individuals, his Brazilian owner did not exploit him for physical labor, but instead used him as a breeding slave. What did this mean? When discussing the horrors of slavery, we often think of Europe and the United States. However, for 350 years, slavery was the foundation of Brazil's economy. Brazil, a Portuguese colony, thrived on the trade of enslaved people, primarily with the Americas. Approximately 40% of enslaved Africans brought to the United States were first transported through Brazil. Even when Portugal recognized Brazil's independence in 1825, slavery remained firmly entrenched in the country. In 1850, the Brazilian government officially banned the international slave trade, but the demand for enslaved labor remained high. If enslaved women did not give birth to enough children to replace aging or dying workers, Brazil's economy would have collapsed. The entire slave-owning society would have fallen apart. To sustain the population of enslaved laborers, African men and women were forced to reproduce. This breeding system operated like a factory. Enslaved Africans were made to have children who were born into slavery. For this purpose, strong, resilient, and tall men were selected as breeding slaves. One of the most famous among them was an African named Peta Seca. With exceptional strength and a remarkable physique for his time, Peta Seca stood over 6 feet 10 inches tall. Due to his excellent genetics, his owner, Joaquim José de Oliveira, used him to father children who would inherit similar physical traits. Peta Seca's life in slavery was unusually comfortable. He underwent weekly health checkups and was provided with a varied and nutritious diet. He even received an education and assisted his owner with paperwork. However, Peta Seca was regularly required to meet with carefully chosen, healthy enslaved women to conceive children. The exact number of women Peta Seca was forced to impregnate and the frequency of these meetings remain shrouded in mystery. However, historians estimate that he fathered at least 249 children based on documented records. The real number may have been much higher. Most of his children were sold by his owner to other landowners for profit, while others were made to work on Joaquim's plantations as they grew up. According to relatives of Peta Seca's family, he was indeed the father of at least 249 children by several dozen women, making him a direct ancestor of about 30% of the Black population in the city of São Carlos during the 20th century. Peta Seca gained his freedom only after slavery was abolished in Brazil in 1888. Due to his significant service to his owner, including fathering a large number of children, he was granted special privileges. After the abolition of slavery, he even received a plot of land and a house from Joaquim José de Oliveira, who had become one of the wealthiest men in Brazil by then. On this land, Peta Seca dedicated the rest of his life to building a new future for his loved ones. He married a woman named Palmira, a former enslaved person with whom he had 9 children. As a farmer, Peta Seca owned and managed his own farm, where he worked tirelessly to produce and sell rapadura, traditional Brazilian sweet made from unrefined cane sugar. While his income was modest, it was sufficient for a comfortable life. He used his earnings to care for his large family and to secure their well-being, fulfilling his dreams of a brighter future. Be sure to check out other fascinating videos on our channel.